The Roman Empire stands as a testament to human ambition and organization. Its grandeur and influence have left an indelible mark on history, shaping the world in ways that are still evident today. At its peak, Rome's reach extended across vast swaths of Europe, North Africa, and the Middle East. The empire's borders stretched from the windswept shores of Britannia to the sun-baked deserts of Egypt, encompassing a diverse array of cultures and peoples. This mighty empire, forged through conquest and diplomacy, commanded a population exceeding 50 million people. The bustling marketplaces of Rome were a melting pot of languages, traditions, and goods from every corner of the known world. Its legions were renowned for their discipline and effectiveness, securing the empire's borders and instilling fear in its enemies. These soldiers, trained to perfection, were the backbone of Rome's military might, executing complex maneuvers with precision and unwavering loyalty. Roman law, engineering, and culture became the gold standard for civilization. The aqueducts, roads, and monumental buildings they constructed were marvels of engineering, many of which still stand today as a testament to their ingenuity. From the sun-drenched plains of Gaul to the arid sands of Egypt, the Roman way of life flourished. In these far-flung provinces, Roman customs, language, and infrastructure took root, creating a unified yet diverse empire. The Pax Romana, a period of unprecedented peace and prosperity, became the empire's defining legacy. For over 2 centuries, this era of stability allowed trade, culture, and innovation to thrive, creating a golden age that would be remembered for millennia. However, even the mightiest of empires can crumble. Beneath the surface of Rome's golden age, cracks were beginning to appear. Political infighting, economic troubles, and social unrest started to undermine the foundations of Roman power. These fissures, if left unchecked, would eventually widen into chasms, threatening to tear the empire apart from within. The once unshakable unity of Rome began to falter as internal divisions grew more pronounced. The seeds of Rome's decline were sown even as it reached the zenith of its power. The grandeur of its architecture and the might of its legions could not mask the growing instability that threatened to unravel the empire's achievements. As we look back on the zenith of Roman power, we are reminded that even the greatest civilizations are not immune to the forces of change. The story of Rome is a powerful lesson in the rise and fall of empires, a testament to the enduring complexity of human history. The 3rd century AD marked a turning point in Roman history. It was a period fraught with turmoil and upheaval, a time when the very foundations of the empire were tested. A series of crises erupted, shaking the empire to its core. Civil unrest became a common sight, with citizens growing increasingly discontented with their rulers. Decades of lavish spending and constant warfare had depleted the empire's coffers. The financial strain was evident everywhere, from the crumbling infrastructure to the empty treasuries. Inflation soared, devaluing the Roman currency and eroding the purchasing power of its citizens. The once stable economy was now in shambles, with prices of basic goods skyrocketing. Political instability became the norm, with emperors assassinated in quick succession. The throne, once a symbol of stability and power, became a dangerous seat, with rulers constantly looking over their shoulders. The once revered position of emperor, a symbol of Roman power and authority, was reduced to a revolving door of short-lived reigns. Each new emperor brought with them a new set of policies, further destabilizing the already fragile state. Corruption festered within the government as officials lined their pockets at the expense of the people they were meant to serve. The trust between the rulers and the ruled was eroded, leading to widespread disillusionment. The army, once a bastion of loyalty and discipline, became prone to mutiny. Soldiers who had once been the pride of Rome now felt neglected and undervalued. Soldiers, disillusioned by low pay and a lack of opportunities, often turned their swords against their own empire. Their grievances were many, and their loyalty was waning.
The internal fabric of our empire is unraveling, with each passing day bringing new challenges and threats from within. And external threats loom large on the horizon. The once mighty walls of Rome now seem vulnerable, as dark clouds gather, signaling impending doom. Barbarian tribes, driven by the westward migration of the Huns, are exerting increasing pressure on our borders. These fierce warriors, with their relentless attacks, pose a significant threat to our weakened state. We are weakened by our internal woes and find ourselves ill-equipped to deal with these new challenges. The once unbreakable spirit of Rome now seems fragile as we face the dual threats of internal decay and external invasion.
Beyond the Rhine and Danube rivers lay a vast expanse of territory inhabited by Germanic tribes. These lands, rich in dense forests and flowing rivers, were home to a multitude of tribes, each with their own unique customs and traditions. The Germanic tribes lived in close-knit communities, relying on the land for their sustenance and survival. These tribes, though diverse in their customs and languages, shared a common desire for the wealth and fertile lands of the Roman Empire. The allure of Roman riches and the promise of a better life drove many to consider crossing the formidable natural barriers that separated them from the empire. The arrival of the Huns, a fierce nomadic people from Central Asia, acted as a catalyst for a mass migration of these tribes westward. The Huns, with their unparalleled horsemanship and brutal tactics, struck fear into the hearts of the Germanic tribes, forcing them to flee their ancestral lands in search of safety. The Huns, known for their equestrian skills and ruthlessness in battle, pushed into Europe, displacing Germanic tribes like the Visigoths and Ostrogoths. These tribes, once settled in their own territories, now found themselves on the move, seeking refuge and new lands to call home.
Faced with the choice of fighting the formidable Huns or seeking refuge within the Roman Empire, many Germanic tribes chose the latter. The Roman Empire, with its vast territories and established infrastructure, seemed like a beacon of hope amidst the chaos. The sheer number of barbarians seeking refuge is overwhelming. Entire families, clans, and tribes converged on the Roman borders, creating scenes of chaos and desperation. The Roman authorities were unprepared for such an influx, leading to tensions and conflicts at the borders. While some tribes are granted permission to settle within the empire as foederati, providing military service in exchange for land, others faced a more uncertain fate. The foederati system allowed the Romans to bolster their military ranks with skilled warriors. But it also introduced new dynamics and challenges within the empire. Others resort to raiding and plundering our territories. Desperation and the need for resources drove some tribes to take what they needed by force, leading to violent confrontations and further destabilizing the region. Our army, stretched thin by internal conflicts and a lack of resources, struggles to contain these incursions. The once mighty Roman legions found themselves overwhelmed, unable to effectively defend against the relentless waves of invaders.
The Romans, accustomed to dictating terms to those seeking entry, found themselves in an unfamiliar position. Negotiations with tribal leaders became a necessity, as the sheer number of refugees and the threat of violence forced the Romans to adapt their strategies. The sheer number of barbarians seeking refuge was overwhelming. The Roman Empire, once a symbol of stability and order, now faced an unprecedented humanitarian crisis. The desperate faces of refugees, young and old, told a story of hardship and survival. The Roman army, stretched thin by internal conflicts and a lack of resources, struggled to contain these incursions. The internal strife within the empire further weakened its ability to respond effectively, leading to a cycle of conflict and instability that would shape the future of Europe. Section 4. A House Divided, the Split of the Roman Empire. In a desperate attempt to salvage the crumbling empire, Emperor Theodosius I made a momentous decision in 395 AD.
He divided the Roman Empire into two halves. The Western Roman Empire ruled from Rome, and the Eastern Roman Empire ruled from Constantinople.
Theodosius hoped that this division would make the empire more manageable, and allow each half to focus on its own unique challenges. However, this decision would have far-reaching consequences. The Western Roman Empire, plagued by economic woes and barbarian invasions, continued its downward spiral. The Eastern Roman Empire, with its wealthier provinces and more defensible capital, proved more resilient. This division, intended to save the empire, ultimately hastened the fall of the Western Roman Empire. The two halves, once united under a single banner, now drifted apart, their fates diverging. Section 5. The Sack of Rome, a Day of Infamy. The year 410 AD witnessed one of the most symbolic events in Roman history, the sack of Rome by the Visigoths, led by Alaric I.
The Visigoths, once Roman allies, had been pushed to the brink by mistreatment and broken promises. Alaric, a skilled military leader, saw an opportunity to exploit the empire's weakness.
He led his forces on a campaign of plunder, culminating in the siege of Rome itself. For 3 days, the Visigoths rampaged through the once mighty city. They looted treasures, desecrated temples, and took Roman citizens captive. The sack of Rome sent shockwaves throughout the empire. It was a stark reminder of Rome's vulnerability and the shifting balance of power in the world. The empire that had once seemed invincible now lay humbled before its enemies. Section 6. The Fall of the Western Empire. The sack of Rome marked a turning point. While the Western Roman Empire lingered on for several more decades, it was a shadow of its former self. Barbarian kingdoms arose within its borders. Roman emperors, often mere puppets controlled by powerful generals, struggled to maintain even a semblance of control. Finally, in 476 AD, the last Western Roman emperor, Romulus Augustulus, was deposed by Odoacer, a Germanic general. Odoacer, rather than claiming the title of emperor for himself, sent the imperial regalia to Constantinople, signifying the end of the Western Roman Empire. The once mighty empire that had shaped the course of Western civilization had breathed its last. Section 7. The Enduring Legacy of Rome. While the Western Roman Empire crumbled, its legacy lived on. Roman law, architecture, language, and culture continued to influence the development of Western civilization. The Eastern Roman Empire, later known as the Byzantine Empire, preserved many aspects of Roman law and governance for centuries to come. The fall of the Roman Empire serves as a cautionary tale about the impermanence of even the mightiest empires. It reminds us that even the most successful civilizations are not immune to the forces of history. Yet amidst the ruins of Rome we find enduring lessons in law, governance, and the enduring power of human ingenuity.